Hello, and welcome to my channel. It's the Network Specialist. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. Everything I will discuss in this video is alleged and, in my very own opinion, used for entertainment purposes only. Guys, you see the thumbnail. Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker announced their split on yesterday. Please say it isn't so. Guys, give me 1 second. I have to plug up my laptop. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. So, on yesterday, Candy announced her filing for divorce from Todd Tucker. Now, if most of you know Candy, she's very strategic. So, for Candy to announce this divorce, she has thought about this long and hard. Okay. So I'm going to share the People News article because I believe they had the exclusive and they were the ones who first dropped the tea. But before I do that, let me go ahead and take this down. And let me just say this. I'm actually proud of Candy for deciding to go ahead and file for divorce because people who stay in loveless marriages for the sake of kids, for the sake of finances, whatever the case may be, like you're really doing your children a disservice, okay? Because kids need to be in a happy environment and kids know when things are bad, okay? You cannot hide that from kids. So you are not doing your kids any favors by staying together when you aren't happy. So the article reads, ROA alumni Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker split after 11 years of marriage, a difficult and emotional time. And again, shout out to People for the exclusive. And it says, Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker are going their separate ways after 11 years of marriage. After deep thought and a lot of prayer, I've made the decision to move forward with a divorce. This is a difficult and emotional time, but my focus remains on protecting my peace, being the best mother I can be, and co parenting with love and respect, Burruss tells People in an exclusive statement. I'm stepping into a new chapter, pouring into my work, my family, and my own growth. I'm grateful to everyone who supported us throughout the years, and I ask for privacy, grace, and understanding as we navigate this transition with our family. Burruss, who's 49, and her producer husband, Todd Tucker, 52, met while filming the fourth season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta in 2011 and announced their engagement on January of 2013, and they tied the knot the following year in April. Since then, the pair have welcomed two children. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me just make sure. Okay. They welcomed two children, son Ace, 9, and daughter Blaze, 5. Both also have children from previous relationships. Burruss' daughter Riley, 23, and Tucker's daughter Kayla, 29. In October of 2022, Burruss told People the secret to their happy marriage was just great communication and having fun together. We have a real understanding of each other, she added. The pair have also teamed up professionally on a variety of projects: a soul food restaurant chain in Georgia, a trucking company, a Bravo series about their family, and the restaurant business are just a few of their collaborations. And this picture of Kandi and Todd was probably taken in September of 2013 because I have a picture with Kandi with that same jacket and that same hairstyle. And it goes on to say on November 14, Burruss was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Bravo during BravoCon 2025 in Las Vegas and thanked Tucker in her acceptance speech. To Todd, thank you for surviving the blogs, the shade, the rumors, the lies, the truth, the almost fights, the actual fights, the reunions. You earned this award too, she said. The singer-songwriter who made her Broadway debut in Chicago in 2018 and will make her Broadway return on December 11th, starring in Juliet, which will run through March 8th, has since built an impressive resume as a theater producer. Shout out to Kandi Burruss. She earned a Tony Award nomination for The Piano Lesson and produced acclaimed revivals, including The Wiz, The Piano Lesson, House of a Colored Man, and last season's Othello, led by Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal. Burris previously shared with People that the former couple's career ambitions were quite aligned. We have intertwined our wants and desires, she told People. We have all these dreams, and sometimes I'll be all out of the box, but he'll still be like, okay, babe, let's do it. Wow. In honor of their eighth wedding anniversary in March of 2022, the reality star shared a video montage featuring photos of her and Tucker together, set to her song Forever Love featuring Q Parker. The images were captured throughout the years and included the couples smiling with their marriage license, as well as together at NASDAQ event and on the red carpet. We've got that forever kind of love. Happy anniversary, my love, at Todd. She captioned the clip. You were the perfect man for me. I'm a better me with you. 8 years down and a lifetime to go. So that's what they had to say about Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker's split. So this is sad for the kids because we see Todd with his daddy daycare videos on Instagram. So he definitely spends a lot of time with the kids. Now, this is going to be very tough to navigate, the time, when the kids spend time with Todd and the kids spend time with Kandi. Kandi is not used to having her kids full time by herself, even if they do 1 week on, 1 week off, like that's going to be a lot for Kandi because at the end of the day, she was the working woman and he was almost like a stay at home dad. I'm sure they'll be able to figure it out. It's not like they don't have money to hire nannies or whatever the case may be, but it's just always sad when you think that you and your mate are going to raise the kids up in the same home and it doesn't work out that way in the end. Okay. But I will forever have so much respect for Kandi because not only is she one of the hardest working women that I know, being, a legend in the group Escape, being a singer, songwriter, producer, actor, restaurateur. Like Kendi has a lot of jobs and a lot of incomes. Okay. So I have no doubt that she's going to be able to navigate this new normal for her. I have no doubt about that. Um, but it's still sad, to see families break up or whatever the case may be. And another thing that I will forever have so much respect for Kandi is because Kandi broke down barriers when it comes to women and their sexuality. Okay. So when it comes to women being open about their sexuality and things like that, it's very taboo, especially for Black women. When Kandi started Bedroom Kandi, she made it possible for a lot of women to open up about their sexuality, be comfortable in their sexuality when it had always been taboo. Like you never heard Black women talking about toys, okay? So Kandi opened up the door for a lot of women to feel comfortable being able to do that. So I will always have respect for Kandi for that. And by Kandi doing that, she paved the way for people like Megan the Stallion, who's very open with her sexuality. And why not? Men have always been able to be open about their sexuality, what it is they want, their needs, whatever the case may be. But with women, not so much. So I will always be grateful to Kandi Burruss for opening up the door for many women to come out and just feel free, especially when it comes to their sexuality, being sexually fluid, whatever that looks like for you. Kandi paved the way for women to be open enough to talk about their sexuality. So I'm going to always have a lot of respect for Kandi for that reason alone. And the fact that, again, she's one of the hardest working women that we know. So I also wanted to share the article that TMZ put out. um, they get into some other things about this divorce announcement. So I want to go ahead and share their article as well. But again, People was the first to drop the news about the divorce. So TMZ, and let me just make sure my volume is still up. Okay. So this is what Hey, Mama Bees, thank you so much for being here and letting me know that you can hear me. This was just an impromptu video, and I wanted to get it out. When it was first announced on yesterday evening, I seen it, but I like to sit back and wait on confirmation because the last thing I want to do is put out some fake information about a celebrity, especially if there's no receipts. Okay. So I wanted to wait to make sure that, this was a real thing. And it is definitely a real thing, guys. So TMZ said Kandi Burruss calling it quits with Todd Tucker after 10 years of marriage. Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker are splitting up after nearly 15 years together, according to a heartfelt social media post from Kandi. The Real Housewives of Atlanta star shared the news Friday afternoon, telling fans that after much thought and prayer, she's decided to file for divorce. While an emotional and difficult time, Kandi says she plans to focus on protecting her peace, being the best mom I can be, and co-parenting with love and respect. Burruss says she will pour her time into her work, family, and growing as an individual. And she thanks everyone for supporting her and Todd over the years before asking for privacy as the two navigate the difficult circumstances. And I believe that Kandi is currently in New York. Todd had an event last night. He was on his Instagram Live showing his event that I believe he had at the old lady gang space, Friendsgiving or something like that last night. So Todd is good. He's not somewhere sad and depressed. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ the two separated a few months ago after growing apart for some time. And it's been an amicable split with legitimately no drama. The drama is to come, guys. Believe me, this is just the beginning. They're trying to, do everything amicably, but knowing what we know and the way they live their life, there is definitely going to be some drama. We're probably going to get some information about some other women and things like that. So, this is just the beginning. This breakup is not going to be drama free. Our sources say Kandi stopped wearing her wedding ring recently, but they still talk every day on the phone. And when they're in person, Candy's been staying in New York City recently while Todd's been taking care of the kids in Atlanta. And guys, it is no secret that they did have a prenup. And in the prenup, Todd was said to get money after being married to Kandi for 10 years. So I think it's safe to say that Todd is going to receive a settlement, either alimony, child support, or something of that nature. Kandi and Todd met on the set of The Real Housewives of Atlanta way back in 2011, and Todd popped the question 2 years later. They married in 2024 wedding ceremony themed on the hit 1988 movie Coming to America. The couple share two children, Ace and Blaze, who turns 6 tomorrow. Happy birthday to Blaze. Unclear exactly why these two are splitting, though Candy's been very busy with her career recently. She's set to star in the Broadway show and Juliet beginning next month and running through early March. Our source say she will not miss any performances of the show despite the split. Now, some of these celebrity marriages, they take a long time to play out. So we could see Todd and Candy going back and forth in divorce court for a very long time. Just like Kenya. I believe she's married now, but that was like the longest divorce in history. And Mama B says, I know Mama Joyce is happy. Yes, I believe Mama Joyce probably is happy. But let me speak on that for a moment. I'm glad you brought that up, Mama Bees. As far as Mama Joyce is concerned, don't get me wrong, love Mama Joyce. She's a sweet lady. I also met Mama Joyce in person. As a matter of fact, I remember telling Mama Joyce that she smelled so good, the perfume that she was wearing the night I met her. And come to find out, we had on the very same perfume. It was Coco Chanel Mademoiselle. That used to be one of my favorite scents. Okay, but let me say this about Mama Joyce. Mama Joyce, you were always out of line. From the moment you decided to put your mouth on Todd Tucker, you were out of line. You have no right to discuss your daughter's husband in public and say those nasty things that you said about Todd and his mother. Kandi should have checked you from day one. She should never have allowed you to speak about her husband in the manner that you did. That was very disgusting. And you continue to do so because she allowed you to do so. Don't ever let anybody speak on your marriage, okay? Moms included, kids included. That's a sacred space. You don't do that. And for her to speak on Todd's mother the way she did, and then shortly thereafter, his mom passed away, I'm sure he never got over that. And guys, Kandi was speaking on one of her Amazon lives. I believe it was the very last one she did. I seen it, and somebody in the audience asked her if Mama Joyce and Todd were getting along any better, and she said no. As a matter of fact, they're still not in a good place. So it seems like Mama Joyce never liked Todd from the beginning, and to this day, she doesn't like Todd. And Mama B says, I agree, she definitely overstepped her bounds. Exactly. And I understand that people want to respect their elders. I get that. I respect my elders, but that doesn't mean that you allow your elders to speak on your marriage and things like that. There has to be boundaries in place. That should have never been able to go on for as long as it did. And to be honest with you guys, Mama Joyce played a big part in the failure of this marriage because sometimes you just can't get past the disrespect that you allowed your mom to put on your husband. You can't get past that. And Todd tried to smooth things over with Mama Joyce. I believe he really did. But a lot of people feel like Mama Joyce wanted Todd out the way because she did not want Todd cutting into her funds. Okay? They felt like if something were to happen to Kandi, instead of Kandi's money going to Mama Joyce, it would have went to Todd. And that's what Mama Joyce didn't like. But technically, it would have went to her kids. And Kandi has been taking care of Mama Joyce all these years, and all she asked was for you to respect her husband, Mama Joyce, and you couldn't even do that. Like, I don't know. I hope that Kandi doesn't blame you for this. While you're probably over there basking with this news, I hope she doesn't blame you for the downfall of her marriage because you did play a big part. Because a lot of times people couldn't mention you without mentioning Todd. Like, you made that man miserable in his marriage. I'm sorry. You accused him of being with Candy's best friend. Like, I don't know. Mama Joyce, you did a lot. You really did a lot. And I hope at some point you apologize to Kandi for the part you played in the downfall of her marriage because I do believe you played a part. And I hope you apologize to Todd for what you said about his parents again. So, guys, it is what it is. Um, this is life. They'll move on, you know. Hey, Miss Dee Dee, thank you so much for being here. And she says she's new here. And thank you for being here. But yeah, this is definitely sad news. And Miss Dee Dee says, yeah, I was rooting for them. Exactly. And I really thought that outside of just, having a great marriage, I thought they were great business partners because Candy has accomplished a lot on her own, but once she got with Todd, she just excelled even more because at the end of the day, Todd was a producer on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. He's been doing that long before he met Candy, and there was a clause in her contract that prohibited Candy from being able to date a producer. So ultimately, Todd made the decision to leave the show so that him and Candy could be together. So, you know, the entire marriage, Todd has had to listen to people say that, he was a stay at home dad when this man was a whole producer. There's no way that they would have been able to produce all of these movies, plays, whatever the case may be, if Todd wasn't in the picture. And I don't feel like people gave Todd his credit for all of that. So now that they're no longer going to be together, maybe Todd can get the light that he always deserved instead of, just living in Candy's shadow. Okay. So hopefully now that they won't be together, Todd can move on and, produce more movies and things like that. And Candy loves being on Broadway. So, it's looking like she wants to do more of that. Um, I'm not sure where they're going to both decide to reside. Candy's home is in Atlanta. Todd's home is in New York. So right now, he's where she's from and she's where he's from. So maybe they'll both live in both places so that way they can co-parent better. Who knows? So guys, that's going to be it for this video. Sorry to have to bring you this sad news, but it is definitely true. Todd Tucker and Kandi Burruss have decided to go their separate ways. So I guess we'll see this divorce play out on social media. And we're going to probably hear a lot of messy stuff in the upcoming months, because one thing about a divorce, that's when all the drama comes out. So guys, if you did not like this video on your way in, please like this video on your way out. And if you just happen to be catching the replay, please like the video and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video, and drop down in the comments so that we can keep this conversation going. Thank you guys for being here, and bye for now.